What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little different. Today's video is going to basically be a sit down. Obviously I'm sitting down. Sit down video, and I'm just going to talk about me and my life, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. We're going to kind of work our way from the beginning to now, where I'm at, which is a great place in my life, honestly. And yeah, so it's just to help you guys get to know me a little bit more. I'm just like everybody else. So it all goes back to 1998. I was born in San Antonio, Texas, at the old Methodist, I guess, maternity building. They knocked it down ever since. I mean, I don't know when they knocked it down. It was a few years ago. I remember seeing it on the news. I was born there, and my husband now actually was born there as well. Basically, I was born. I was I want to say my mom said I was about 6 weeks early when I was born, but I'm fine now, obviously. I was their first child, and I am the oldest of 3. So I was born in 98, my brother was born in 99, and my sister was born in 2001. And then I'm actually from Hondo, Texas, so wasn't born here, but I was raised here. We lived with my grandparents here in Hondo. Me and my parents did. I'm not sure about how long we lived there. And when my sister was born, we moved to Aransas Pass. So here in Texas, it's basically along the coastline of Texas, by Corpus. So it's about 30 minutes outside of Corpus, if that, maybe 20. Just depends on how fast you're driving. But yeah, so we moved to Aransas Pass. I actually went to pre-K there, I think, and then we moved back. We weren't there for very long. I was only went to pre-K, and then I went to kindergarten here. We moved back here when I was about 6, and then I started kindergarten here, and then from kindergarten till I graduated, I was here in Hondo. I was active. I played sports. I did all that. You can't tell now. And then I kind of moved up into like when middle school hit. I played like all the middle school sports. I never did any running sports. I am not a runner. I don't run. So yeah, I did pretty much every sport except for like the running sports and like golf. I didn't play golf or anything like that. So I guess high school, because I grew up Catholic, right? So, I had a quinceañera, right? And my parents were very strict on me dating. I could not date until I had my quinceañera, did my sacraments, did that, right? So I did that. And that was like middle school, whatever, but I still had a quinceañera, and my parents did put a lot of hard work into it, and I was very grateful for it. That's about when I started, I got my first, real boyfriend. We dated for about 4 years, I want to say. Pretty much my entire high school we dated. I want to say, yeah, we did. That ended my senior year. It just ended. But I'm very grateful for that ending, because I would not have met my husband now if that relationship did not end. So I'm grateful for it ending. But yeah, it wasn't the best relationship. It was kind of toxic, and that can be another story time for another video. That's a whole relationship that I can go on and on about, but it's in the past, and it's gonna stay in the past. I don't really care anymore, you know. So yeah, that relationship ended. Whatever, no big deal. So yeah, that ended my senior year. And then right at the end of my senior year, I decided, hey, I should probably get a job, because I was going to college. I needed a job for college anyway, because I needed to be able to support myself. My parents weren't going to pay for everything, right? They have 2 other kids to support. So I got a job at this fast food place here in Hondo that was about to open in Hondo, called Golden Chick. Now, a lot of people who know me know the whole story about it. Me and my husband's how we met. So he messaged me on Facebook, right? And before Snapchat was a thing, but it wasn't everything's about Snapchat, Instagram, blah blah blah. So he messaged me on Facebook, and we just that's where the relationship started. We just kind of talked to each other. We hung out at work. maybe it should have been working, but whatever. And we kind of hit it off in the beginning. We had our, like, I was very reserved because I just came out of a 4-year relationship. Like, I didn't want to get hurt again. I didn't want to get, like, treated badly, because all I ever knew from my serious relationship was being treated kind of bad. One thing I cherish the most with Ryan, my husband, is that he cares about my family just as much as I care about his family, right? With my old relationship, I cared about his family, but he really didn't care about mine. He would always talk bad about my sister, my brother, my siblings, you know. He would talk bad about my siblings, and then, like, I had strict parents, right? Because the firstborn always has the most rules, I feel. And I had strict parents, and where he came from, he didn't really have strict, like, his girlfriends could sleep over and do this and that. Again, this is a story time for another video, but that's mainly one of the part of the reason why we didn't work out. But I thank God for Ryan every single day. He treated me right, and so with going into talking to him, I was kind of worried, like, what if he treats me the way I was treated before? What if I'm not cherished and appreciated for what I do? And I'm a cheesy person. I'm an extra person. Like, I go above and beyond in whatever I do. And the little things mattered to Ryan in the beginning. Like, it still does. They still do. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so we kind of talk back and forth at work, and we talk on the phone pretty much every night. We texted a lot. I had my license by then. I got my license at 18. I didn't get it at 16. I got it at 18 because I was kind of scared to drive, and we didn't really have an extra car for me to drive when I was 16. So, like, yeah. But yeah, so we were in a car accident. We didn't have an extra vehicle. We only had my dad's truck. And me and my brother actually worked at Golden Chick with me. So we kind of just carpooled back and forth to work together. But yeah, so there was one time where I was like, I can take you home. Like, I offered to take him home because he actually lived, like, not even, maybe like 5-7 minutes away from where I live. We lived out in the country, so it's like you take this one highway, and he lived off of that highway, but right before that highway was a turn to go to my house. So, like, I just had to turn, but I can go a little bit further and just make it U-Ly, right? So, like, I could take you to, I'll take you home after work, like, trying to, like, be like, I'll take you home after work, you know? And little did I know, his grandma, or his dad, was already there to pick him up for work, and he had texted him, oh, I got a ride, go home. I'm like, just tell me, I'll take you home the next day. Like, I felt so bad. He didn't tell me that until, like, after we were already dating. So, like, when I met his family, he had told me that story, and I told him, I was like, he should have just told y'all, like, he could have just went home with you. Oh my god, I felt so bad. But yeah, so that was that. So I had a truck, I would drive back and forth, pretty much have it all the time. But Ryan, I was so scared to meet his family. It was like, I didn't want to get hurt, right? So I was very reserved. Like, I was very like, hey, like, take it slow, don't move too fast. We didn't move that fast. I don't think we moved that fast, but everybody else thinks we did for some reason. But anyway, so we dated. We were together. We started dating on May 28th of 2016, which is the year that I graduated. So it was like, the 28th was my last day of school, right? The seniors get out a week early from, like, everybody else. They stay, and we're done because we don't have any more tests, or as long as you didn't have any tests or anything to make up, and you weren't failing, which I wasn't. I took good care of my grades. We were done. So on the 28th, we had, like, our senior walk, where we walked through, like, all the little schools, like, that built us up to the high school or whatever. And it was my last day. And then August rolled around, and I was going to college out of town. So, like, it was about an hour and a half, maybe. I like an hour and a half. 2 hours? I don't think it takes 2 hours to get there, but it was about 2 hours, like, away. I was going to school 2 hours away. We made it work. By I came home every weekend to be with him. But I also had a job, so I was balancing having a job, coming home to see Ryan, to see my family, to see, like, his family and stuff like that. But we made it work, and it was actually really, really great. I wouldn't change anything except finishing school, which I didn't, which that was my responsibility to take care of school, and I didn't. I tried really, really hard, but college and high school is so much different, and everybody warned me, just go to the community college at first, and I wish I would have taken their advice and just went to a community college, but that's besides the point. No, oh my gosh, I'm off by a year. We lived there. I didn't move in with his family until the next. So it was like July. Crap, I don't know. It was around there, like of 2018 is when I moved in with him. So we were together for 2 years at this point. And we moved in. Then by November 2018, we moved out and got our own apartment because I was done with school and we had good jobs. We were stable. Like we did it. We could take care of ourselves. Moving out on your own, I was not 21 yet. No, I was 20. And he was 19. So it's like, no, by the time we moved out, he was 20 as well. But like, oh my goodness. This is why your parents warn you, when you move out, be ready to move out. We were ready to move out. Like, we were fine. We took care of ourselves. We cooked dinner. We did all of that. But and it was a good step for us because we were dating for 2 years already. Yeah. So we lived in this one apartment. Terrible time. There were so many issues with that place. And we moved out. We had a year lease. So to November, we lived there. And then we were like, okay, we're going to stay 6 more months, see how it goes. And then if it's not good, we'll just move somewhere else. 6 months roll by. It was just bad. It was just not fun anymore. It was not. So fast forward 6 months. It was May. Our lease was up. We did not want to stay. We were not going to stay for another 6 months, another year, another day. So we packed everything up. We actually went ahead and got another apartment, which is across town. It's a townhome. We loved it. We loved that townhome. It was great. It was a little bit more pricey. It was pricier. COVID had just hit. But we were adamant about like being on our own. While we got help from our families because they didn't want to see us struggle, so we got help. But like, we paid our bills. We worked. I worked. Ryan worked. We did what we could. COVID hit us hard. Thankfully, to this day, knock on wood, we have not gotten COVID, not gotten a new variant, nothing. So, thank goodness we are vaccinated. Ryan does have he is high risk, so we are vaccinated. We are taking care of we're doing our part. 2020 was already a bad year. We wanted to start off fresh. My birthday, we had to quarantine because we thought we had COVID. So my birthday is January 16th. I thought I had COVID. And it was just, I was scared. We got tested, we came out negative, but we still quarantined because we didn't know yet. And mind you, we don't really go anywhere. We don't really do anything. I can tell you right now that all the friends that I had, I don't have anymore because I don't go anywhere or do anything because I'm scared. And I'm not really like a go out, have fun, party person. Yeah, I don't like to do that. I did that in high school. So, whatever, besides the point. Okay. January 28th rolls around. And we loved our apartment. We loved our townhome. And it was 28th or 29th. I'm pretty sure it's 29th actually. So we're going to say the 29th. And I had to go train. So I tell Ryan, I love you, I'm going to leave. I made my breakfast. I made my breakfast. I woke up at 6:30. I had to be there by 8. Made my breakfast in the kitchen, which it was our bedroom was right here. The door to our room was right here, okay? You walked out of our bedroom into the kitchen. So the kitchen's like a little, it was like a little, like it was a corner, the corner of the house. And it's the corner of the street. There's a main street that's on a road, right? The corner of the street. And I bet you all can, you're going to put your heads into and know what's going to happen. So I said, I love you, goodbye. Made my smoothie, went out the door. Ryan stayed asleep. He did not wake up. He wasn't going to wake up until probably like noon, I bet. Anyway, so I'm getting in my car, turn it on. It's cold. So, oh my gosh. So I go ahead and get in the car. And then our house is on the corner. our townhome is on the corner, and the entrance is right here. There's a street that connects, literally, there's like the main road, and then like it branches off to like subdivisions and like places where people live. And there was a white car parked at the stop sign, and I was like, okay, that's weird, it's been there for a while since I went and turned on my car, got in the car. I was like, maybe somebody's texting, answering a message, whatever, right? So I leave. I'm leaving Hondo. It takes me about 2-3 minutes to leave Hondo. When you go into Hondo, there's a bridge, right? It's an overpass. And I'm just passing the overpass when Ryan calls me, and I'm like, why the hell is Ryan calling me? He goes, Lindsay, come home. And I go, why? He goes, somebody's breaking in, something's happening. I just see smoke, like dust. And I'm like, okay. He goes, I'm gonna go check it out. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, Lindsay, come home. I go, what's going on? He goes, someone drove into our kitchen. What? I'm like, what the hell? I was like, okay, I'm on my way. I'm still driving at this point, going 70 miles an hour. Like, I slam on my brakes. And the first U-turn I can make, I make. I call my mom, and I panic. I panic bad. If for those of you who know me know that I panic bad when things happen. I cry, I hyperventilate, I freak out. There's a chance that I could have like a seizure or something, I'm faint. Because I have had that, but it happened to me before. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I come on, I go, Mom, somebody just wrecked into my kitchen. She goes, what? And so she wakes up. My sister was already awake because she was in school still. So she wakes up, they get in the car, her and my dad, and they book it, like, to my house. It's like, I'm on my way. So I call Ryan's mom. I'm like, somebody's in our kitchen. She goes, I know, I just talked to Ryan, I'm on my way. I'm dropping off his little brother at school, and I'm on my way. I said, okay. I get home, and the first thing I see is there's a car in my kitchen. I'll insert a photo of the car in my kitchen right now. So I'm like, oh my god. So I get out of the car and I'm like, who did it? Where's the guy? Who was in the car? And Ryan goes, and he tells me who it was. I know this person. I'm related to this person without like putting it all out there. I'm like, are you sure? Like, not wanting to believe it. And he's like, he was pissed. And I was like, oh my god. And I could tell Ryan was shaking. He was so mad. Like, he goes, he's looking at it and see him. Oh my god, he's still looking at it and see him. I'm like, Ryan, like, okay. I'm like, I'm trying to process everything. So they let us walk in. So our townhome, there's 3 other townhomes connected to ours, right? It was us on the corner, another family with like children, small children right here, our best friends, and then another family. So they're all 3 bedrooms, so like they're really big, and so we like, time passes and we're like giving our statements, and like people, like everybody saw who did it, like all of our friends saw who did it, and like tried to confront him about it, and he was like, what, I didn't do anything. To this day he probably doesn't know what he did, and like I haven't heard anything from him, so but honestly I could care less at this point. What's done is done. I mean, we're at a great place in our life. So we walk in to see the damage, and I have pictures of the damage, and I'll show you guys this picture of the damage right here. So the stove flew off the wall, hit our bedroom door, which is what everything woke Ryan up, but that especially. Like, what the heck? It flew like a good 10 feet. Obviously, a car's coming at you full force, like 80 miles an hour probably. Who knows? But even going 30 miles an hour can do damage, you know? They went from a halting stop, and, okay, it was the white car that I saw, was the car that wrecked into our house. But, yeah, so this video is not like a whole video on that situation, but, like, we had to leave the house. It got condemned, so what that means is nobody can live there until it's fully fixed and up to code and all of that. So we had to leave all of our stuff except for the clothes we had and like a few things that we were able to grab. So we moved back in with Ryan's family. Like, Ryan is known to stay up all night and play video games, right? Sometimes, like, if he's off. If he were to have stayed up all night and made breakfast the way he was doing it, he would make me breakfast every morning. So if he would have done that, God only knows what could have happened. So that happened in January. Move with his parents, get a storage, stuff was put in there, and then these crazy Texas winter storms happened. So crazy. By that point, when the storms hit, I was already working from home. And we lived with his parents until the beginning of March. So only about a month or so we were living there. March hit, and we moved in on March 8th. We were getting married on March 20th. I put this house together in like 3 days. Maybe. Like 4 or 5 maybe. So we've been married since March 20th of 2021. And that's pretty much where we're at now. Life's pretty great. Despite this whole new Delta variant or whatever the crap it is, COVID, whatever, life's pretty good. I'm 23, Brian's about to be 23 in October. Like, we're happy with where we're at. We're content. He works. I'm home, but I do have that side business that I do with like shirts and stuff, my Etsy shop, and life's great. We have a loving family to support us in everything we do, and we're grateful for what we have and who we have in our lives. I wouldn't change it for the world. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at now. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.